I am live. Okay then, man alive. 27th of May, allegedly. 2019, the year of our Most High. I'd like to, uh, I'd like to do an announcement, a public notice, if I may. I use my channel to let you know that the work is drying up. The trade as cleaner, mould technician. The damp days are over. Oh, I can just see the jokes now. Damp jokes. Yes, I'm going to be free for the next 2 months, maybe 3 months. So I'm going to look at alternative ways of remunerating myself for my efforts, deeds, and time. The first little bit I'd like to bring to you is community calves. As I haven't seen the Panorama special that was done broadcast last Friday 9 p.m. reference the legal case that I brought to you by a father who noticed his daughter had been locked up in isolation and drugged by the agents in the Club of Rome there, and he's now launched a legal lawsuit. So it's private and family, so it's not being released in detail, but you can take it from us that we are watching this closely, and I'm going to try and contact and send an email later when I get into my email. So what I'd like to stress is that in that father's outlay of the tragedy, the crimes that have been committed against his daughter, we had Matt Hancock come on, and he didn't overpromise very much, and he made out that the communities and the resources are lacking. Austerity, everybody. There's no money, there's no credit, there's no anything, there's no hope. Well, let me tell you, there is such things as credit, and there is hope, and there is ways we can do this privately and publicly. You can get European granting, lottery funds. There are millions, hundreds of ways, not millions, to tackle this. So community calf. I've spoke to Kevin, I've spoke to Josh, I've spoke to G Star, I've spoke to myself. Believe me, I do. I've spoke to our lass. Everybody that I speak to says yes, we'd like a PIP, DWP, ESA, public and private technology, with the trust and the correction in the cafe. We'd like the health and the wealth. We'd like the vitality and the silver water, the copper water, the raw organic diets and the benefit for your health, fertility, longevity in life, longevity, even longevity. Hey. So what we're looking for is, let's get to the point. Anybody who knows of a calf, please go to that calf. Let them know that your brother David, Josh, Kevin's staying local for health reasons. He's down south. Came on 8:30. We need to hook up about Surrey. Yes, we'll do that. That's getting done. We have a seminar planned for later this year, and we will give you updates. Private event, private land, same setup as last year, and we will announce that as soon as we can. I don't want to announce a location and then change it once you've set your plans, dates, and times. Preferences for the seminar are in the 6 weeks break time, so we can facilitate the family environment. If you've got any objections to that, let me hear you. Let me hear you. Yeah, 1 day a week, Monday to Friday. Myself will be there. I personally will be there. We'll link up on video with brother Kev and Josh. All right, we'll arrange it with them. I'm not volunteering them, just as and when they are free. They both said yes. They're both good brothers, and I'm sure they will give some time and to this if we organise it, facilitate it, and make this pact between us now. So I'd like to bring you energy. I'd like to bring you science, but we go in order of priority. Whatever you want, we can tailor it to your area and your community. If you just want lawful advice with the juxtaposition of the state of play, please see last night's video if you wasn't there for the truly incredible, what do we call it, what have I labelled it as? I've labelled it as cross-pollination of the hothouse flowers of Eden. The seas, my favourite sea of all the seas that this Club of Rome and the pagan, ways, religion and traditions have brought to us, is the sea of prophet seas, the prophecies. And when you do business, you make a profit or you make a loss. Now, a profit is not a monetary commercial term. A prophet is of the Most High. You are, high courts, high priest. You get me? Most High is the highest of the high. That's why we have the high in the courts and the church. So when we're talking about the prophets, the prophecy, there's a few out there on Tube. I can't deny it. There's some excellent, amazing, brilliant, truly fantastic minds, love, souls, and everything out there. So let's push it. I'll give you the chance. Will watch the comments on this video attentively. David at splspro.com for private communication, and I will let you know there's 45 in my inbox. I will tending to them all tonight. For those of you that missed the updates over the weekend, Kevin's masterpiece for you to consider and look at for your GDPR and 1998 DPA status, standing and capacity correction. That's a hefty document, Kev. I have had my mince pies over that. Much love to him, as always, and his family. We're looking to incorporate the boys into this and give them some remuneration in the trust area. So whether they're there in person or on video, their time I would like to remunerate, and we would like to operate private capacity as agreed. I have some issues on the .com which I'm going to tend to with the renewal. It looks like the system software needs an update for the lifetime accounts, but I'm on with that, and yes, we are waiting on a response, so please stand by. Nothing too massive there, but the community CAF is something that I think this summer we could get this list of cities we'd like to go to, the major ones, and then the ones that are in villages and further afield. I hear you would connect up via the video if you can't make it down, and we would go live at every CAF every day, and then we would feed that back, record it, download the audio, chuck it onto the .com, save it and archive it. So you would need to let us know. The areas of help are obviously the law against the legal. That's the top one. Then the one underneath that would be your health and wealth. That's mindfulness. Okay, we've got a mindfulness master or two within the family. We've got neuro-linguistic programming amongst everything else that we've got. I need to push this and make it grow. Why should I consider going to a corporation, a corpse, a dead entity, and submitting an application form with full liability to submit to that corporation's will? I don't want to do that. I don't want to ever do it again. I'm in private self-employment at the minute, which is slightly better than a corpse, but I am still at the mercy of an employer, albeit privately and done differently and knowingly. So forced servitude is unlawful. Never mind legal. We just deal with law. So lawful. Hate crimes are crimes. They're called common law assaults. Assault and battery of man's rights. So, I think we need another act. No, we don't need any acts passing, because if man operated in law under common law, then even though we reside as man, the blood and the flesh, beneficiary on the land, living man of the land. That's all true and correct. But you need to know how to word things when explaining whom and what you are in the legal realm, because they are very, very particular about what they recognize. So here we are, the beneficiaries, man on the land, and we'd like to know that I'd like you to know, and to pass it around to the Facebook realm and all the other groups when you hear them commenting and saying what SPLs do and don't do and so forth. It's as simple as this. Man, woe man of the womb is on the land and is in law under the Creator. The legal is a secondary concern to us, yes, and it is there. It is very, very prevalent. It is very real, and it is very much of a threat. That's why I did last night's video. There is another 20 pages at least to put on to what I read out last night, which would total 35 and approximately 60,000 words. I am counting and keeping it minimal. I have changed overnight. Something has happened. I've asked for help, guidance, eyes to see, so forth and so on. And let me tell you, I woke up the other day and I felt like a new man. I'm not trying to claim anything because I have no proof, but what I will tell you is that the honey monster is is about to embark on the United Kingdom fiasco amongst the EU dark overlords of the Satanist, faith there. I've got so much I could politically go on about for the next 2 hours, but man's just got back after trade on a bank holiday, doing the usual. I'm going to cook the Queen and Princess some food because she's still badly and she's been out as a slave in the factory today. The Princess is back. I've got lots to do. My concern is you, not me. I'll find something to do. I can do anything. I'll shovel shizen, and anything to get to the ends met till I can get to the high courts. We will be wanting, to get down there as soon as possible. That is on the cusp, but only a fool would rush in, much like those that represent themselves have a fool for a client. Well, as I've explained, when you are lied to, when you are deceived, one commandment from JC, okay, that commandment was, "Thou shalt not be deceived." That was a command. Okay, so anybody asks you why, just say it's against my religion. I can't do that. I can't sign that. It's against my religion. Well, can't you do that? Why won't you do that? I can't do it. Sorry. Why? Because I've been told. Yes, certain things. I'm not saying that that's what you should say. That's just an indication as to what this system runs on and how it works. The biblical revelation and choreograph yesterday of the timeline was because I and G Star have been working on how to present Dead and Lost at Sea, the CQV of 1666 presentation. We are on with that for next year now. It's going to be delayed, but I'd like to speak to actors, method actors, anybody that's got a bit of time that's never acted but plays about in secret and doesn't tell anybody. Well, say hello to my little friend, and playing off little quotes and stuff. Well, we want you. That'll do. Doesn't matter that you haven't been to an academy or school and haven't got the correct, because that's how we roll. You've got the experience of life. We'd like some actors, script writers, and things like that next to do maybe even a PowerPoint presentation. Would suffice, but I'd like to jazz it up and get you involved there. Perhaps when we do the community CAF, we'll see how this goes. We could incorporate these ideas onto boards around the CAF. I'd like to look at CAFs and talk to the managers directly, email initially, then telephone call. Anything we can do for these cafe managers, proprietors, owners, businessmen, women, and so forth, then we will give them expert attention from ourselves, and if we can't, then we'll find others that can. But as you've noticed, there's not much we haven't got a finger in. So we would look after them for being so kind as to hosting, for us being the host, so we could come down and visit your cities. It doesn't have to be a city. It can be a town. It can be a village. It can be anywhere. It's just, perhaps it would be better on the outskirts for one of many reasons. But just an idea. I'm not coming on camera because I'm still in the threads and I've got paint all over my face. Not very presentable, so just the phonics and the sound, the vibration is all you need there, the intent, and I'll leave it with you. Thank you to all in advance for giving an SHIT, for thinking out of the box, and for knowing that if you want something doing and you want it doing right, you don't put you've got to do it yourself. That's how it is. Sorry, let me stick to the thread. Last night's video, like I say, it's just there is more. There's a lot more to come. The history, I want it down. I want it in black and white. Then there can be no such thing as plausible deniability, because the moment man puts this down, articulates it, and sticks it up next to the Georgia Guidestone, prints it, gives it away for free, puts it out there, makes it common knowledge, then you will change and you will remove yourself from the system. The system is here to stay, I'm afraid. The system is looking after itself. Behind every empire, there is a dark, shadowy, from what I will tell you, I will prove it, a dark, shadowy, controlling force. That controlling force is in every aspect of our life. It's personally attacking me on every level: laptops, accounts, email, a big 2 fingers up to that energy. I feel it, I see it, I know of it. I'm not telling you how to think and how to see. I'm just telling you that it's getting, the grip is getting tighter, and they are cleverly moving little things into places, little by little, just a little bit more, every couple of months as something else changes, something else is rescinded, something else is moved. The Benicia and and what's the other guy called now? I forget. The two Michaels will do it that way. The Great British Mortgage Swindle has definitely set a massive tsunami in that commercial realm there. I'm just glad if I was to go from this realm tomorrow, I'd go a happy man after seeing such things as this common knowledge, plausible deniability. Let's have a foundation, an establishment, an academy, whatever you want. But it needs to start at your community with man in the private, as I say, in the private, a man on the land under God. You are susceptible to the common law. Just because I reside in the private and I am out in the public, I am governable by the common law. But when I say that, I just mean harm in laws. You need to separate the statutory code that is mandated upon your person out of Westminster by default. Now get that sentence into your head, write it down, send it around Facebook. That is the issue there. Governed by consent. Yes, we've covered that, and we know what the consent part is and whom it is and why. So common law is the constitutional law, it's the administrative law, it's the human rights, it's all of it. Yes, because it's common and it's for the public and it's in the public sector, it's in the civil area to be exact, the civil and the commercial. So in the civil and the commercial, the private are and the public are, and that's called a mixture of the mans of the realm. You cannot go out and punch anybody, take from anybody, harm anybody, or rob anybody, fraudulent dealings, because that's just not on. That's not how we roll. We call it sovereign. Yes, I can back up being sovereign, so I will say that I am sovereign. For those that can't back up being a sovereign, then you just say you are private and you are self-governed and you do not consent, and you will give them reasons why. I use the word sovereign because I believe in it, and I read it and I went, wow. It's a bit like when I heard Richard Ansar's videos and I heard all these things come out about what equity stands for, the maxims of, and I heard him say that and I went, that's what common law is. That's common law stuff that we should. Hang on a minute. So why are we going common law when there's trust and equity? Why has nobody mentioned that? Because it kicks arse and it's the top dollar, top shelf, the number one. It's the king's court, baby. It's it's the king's conscience, and it's our court as well. We can take control of that, our venue. So the common law, Westminster, is the public side of the law, which is codified law, which is penal, slip of the tongue. Obelisk, column, Oval Office, and so forth, and commercial intercourse. It's no wonder man makes a slip of the tongue now and again, is it? So the common, statutory, what should we say, Admiralty, Maritime, UCC, Ecclesiastical, they're all in there, look, they're all out there floating around, so you've got the lot, and they're applicable to ones depending on what? Status, standing, capacity. Now, if you're considered by the Club of Rome a person, a citizen, an employee, and you are considered just a person will do, a public person, then you're in trouble, because that is how they come upon you from the public with those codes. So we choose not to recognize them, nor the legalese, nor the language, nor the courts. But we haven't got the resources yet to make a big enough noise to set it up. I'd like to just echo on the common law court system. That had great potential. I'm not sure what's happening with that. I've seen that John Smith's been down London and spoke, and I haven't really caught up on Rob S. I can't remember what Steve McRae's doing. I haven't checked his channel for a bit, but I'd like to say that I'm not adverse to getting together and having a chat, and getting something together and putting our brains together. I haven't got an ego. I have got an ego, but I believe it's somewhat under control. I'd like to think it is, as best as it could be, like my subconscious and my subconscious tendencies and actions and cognitive dissonance. Ego comes last when you get into this game and you get submerged by the torrent, the matrix of all these different areas of which are all key and crucial, part of your competence for life, longevity, happiness, the correct vibration, and passing on when you exit this realm with a clear conscience and ascending rather than going to the recycle to be chewed up and spat out by this corporate club of pagan traditions and worship And yeah, just see last night's video. I, for one, have had more than my fill. And, you know, I want to call out to the Tube, to the Scribes, to everybody who's in the community. If you know someone in the community or does community work, and please, you know, give them a nudge and let them know we're looking to help and expand. So 8 weeks, yes, about 8 weeks we have before you know, it picks back up, and I don't want to go back into that. I'm hoping in this 8 weeks I can get about, you know, it's not easy. Not everybody, here we go, not everybody can get a van, just leave their home that they've had for, you know, or, you know, you're used to living in bricks and mortar and things are getting on top of you. It's not a remedy to get a van. And this isn't a cuss on Brother Josh or Martin or anything like that. Big up to them, much love, respect. I want to get a van and do this too. But, you know, I've got to pick my moment in time and look at how I can manage and what needs doing. And, you know, I suppose I'm making excuses in a way. Yes, I am. But I'm prioritising, and I'm saying if you can get in a van and get into a park in a community and you can sit there and you can build up that, then that is admirable, and I'd love to be doing it right now. But life, positions, timing, the Queen and the Princess, you know, education, support, living, food. We could do it. Yes, we could. But I'd like 5 acres that we're entitled to, my weight in gold, and I'd like us all to have 5 acres, the weight in gold. Okay, so that's why I'm not slagging off these boys. What I'm saying is, we have an entitlement. We have the mineral and energy resources of this realm, of this plane or this world, yeah, that we're whirling around, and we're going to grab them. We're going to claim them back because someone's claimed them, because we didn't. The card 21, the key. Okay, that's right. It's all gone in the bin. Well, we're getting that card out the bin, metaphorically. Okay, as we cross-pollinate and look at the religions and the words of, and our contracts and you know, ethics, and that card from 21. Well, yes, that's the door, that's the gateway. That was the key to the you know, the age of majority in the army, in the military, as you will find out through the, you know, publications and research that you'll read and do yourself. You'll find out that the major is one of the top rankers in the army, and if you are the major, Sergeant Major, yes, remember Windsor Davies, Terrorhawks, that silver ball, oh aye, that's him. He was the Sergeant Major. He kicked arse. He was the boss of them other little balls. And when them black squares come from Zelda to attack, and there was Doctor, I forget the character's name now. What was he called? That bloke who flew the Terrorhawk ship and that. Oh, yes. Well, Sergeant Major just ruled everything, and he was the main ball android. He was a robot, and he controlled everything. So when you get that key, you become the major. You're the highest in the army, this army, and that's when you start to call rank, and you pull rank, so to speak, and you'd let them know. So 19 years too late, 20 years too late, 41 look. So there you go. The Bible, 40 years in the wilderness. You know, when I was listening to Smithy bringing up certain bits and that, I was lost for words at some point. You know, I was thinking away, and it's not because of Smithy I've started reading the Bible or brought that out last night. It's because I've had a Bible for some times. I've got quite a lot of publications, and I've done my own research, and I've had my own life and religious pathway, and offspring and christenings, and I've got the, you know, the .com's got the Rig Vedas, you know, Vedic stuff on there. It's got a lot of religious stuff on there, a lot of astro-theological. I've looked and I've gone dark side. And yeah, when Smithy was reading them passages, and I saw the response of these biblical, you know, prophecies, the seas of the prophets, yeah, and how it goes, and the fear and the anguish and the anxiety and the mental confusion, not knowing what language you speak, not knowing if you're on a plane or a ball. You know, I can tell you what I think, but we're not here for that. We can prove what has been said by the Most High, and you know, even having Saturday off is like a, you know, it just starts. You got to change something. You got to break that chain, and once you get in there, you know, your life does become more wholesome, better, and it's a game of magic to some extent. So these lot know that, and they know that we curse ourselves. They've set everything up, so we go out there thinking that's what we should be doing, but really we are condemning ourselves to a life of sin, misery, pestilence, heartache, sorrow, regret, debt. You know, the benefit system in itself and the way that it's played, you know, and how they're doing this, and the hurt, the sorrow, the mandatory reconsiderations, the busting of a move that we've had to do to make sure that you lot get your rights upheld, and that cash, that benefit, that entitlement, yes, that gift from the creator is given to you, because these agents are only too happy to take their cut and set up a business and make massive profits on stock market bonds and, you know, so forth, and Bond Street, the stock market, and pay their shareholders dividends, and they may be friends of friends in political parties and so forth, and banks that make these things happen, and they've already got enough money, but yet they keep the money in the family, and they set these contracts up with their friends of friends, you know, and have a chat on the golf course and pass some brown envelopes, and that's how these things are set up. It's not very fair, to say the least. So we'd like just to reiterate that it's rotten from the core, and you need to get out of it. While ever you are in it, you share in with her sins. Now that's not to scare you, that's what's written, and that's what's written by the Most High. And the Most High, and as I brought to you in the book of Daniel, I do like the book of Enoch as well, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Egyptian Book of the Dead. David steals and copies. Call me a thief, because I've copied from them books and I've written it down. I'm a thief and a copier. No, I'm a researcher, and I'm somebody that puts their ass out there, makes a fool of themselves, and tries whatever, pushes and tries to inspire, and you know, put it out there. Why? Because I've had enough, because they stole my blood. That's why. If you forget why David Fiction Eater is in this realm, and why he won't shut up, is because I've got parental, fatherly, yes, offspring, asset, alienation, and 20 grand in 2 years is nothing compared to this, the heartache and the you know, the breakage up of a family unit. We want this to stop. This isn't our way. This isn't our life. This isn't our language. This has nothing to do with nature in itself. So perhaps running away to a field and starting up a, you know, whatever, going in private is an excellent idea for someone. You can do that, then do it. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. But for the ones that are left, the ones that can't get a van, for the ones that are, as this video is pointing out, at the mercy of, well, this is why the community calf idea has popped up. So let's do it. All right, we will get on the road. I've got a 7-seater there, even though it's got 2 in it at the minute. We've got the hydrogen assisted technology. You know, we've got a lot to bring out, power wise, electric wise, cutting down water, you know, implosion, water fractionalization. We've got a lot of science, a lot of law, a lot of love. Laura, feeling like Scylla at the minute. Come on, our Graham. So it's there, the potential. And while ever you go to a gangster to do business, yes, and I've got an Italian surname, so it's a bit weird how all this has turned out. And yeah, the house of, and Italiano, Papa Caesar. I'm sorry, you know, for others, just because, you know, like the darker skinned brothers, just because the darker skin doesn't mean to say they're a terrorist and going to blow up, and you know, a hate crime perpetrator. Just because you're a skinhead and you're Anglo-Saxon doesn't mean to say you're a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant and you enforce that. Just because, you know, this is the it's all too easy, isn't it, to sit behind and judge and make assertions and so forth. And it's very interesting that Jeremita, that's how you do say the surname, Jeremita. Nice to meet you. And gematria, wow, didn't see that coming when I was spinning away and in my youth. So life is what it is, and it brings you challenges. There are crossroads, and there are times in the dark, and you know, you lot, you're in the dark, you've been left in the dark, and you are not to be used as collateral, cannon fodder, damage, and to be sanctioned, isolated, drugged up, electrocuted, considered to be the property property of, yeah, Elizabeth, you might own certain rights and titles to land and so forth, but I call it out, QE2, okay, we have an issue, QE2, with property and rights being stolen from man whilst on this land from the nation of the crown, which is in London, like the nation of the crown in Washington and the nation of the Vatican in Italy. They are nations. They are tiny little countries, all on their own. Yes, they are. And that's going to be the end of the publication that I brought to you last night. So, Allah Allah, as my Turkish mate and Arabic Islamic faith fellas say, oh my God, indeedy. So we just want to get out and about and collect you up and magnetize and spread the love, fist bump and hug, make you better and give you access to things that are rightfully yours. Now, if you think that's something that appeals to you or something your community needs or you yourself, and you can endeavor to help us in any way, then we will put it out there and we will come. I will come and I will link up on the videos, others, and any specialists or whatever that pick up on this as it gets passed around, shared, talked about, and prophesized. Then let's say hello. Thank you. It's nice to meet you, even though you can't see me. Skim through the channel and you'll get to know us and the fam. The .com is www.splspro.com. I do see a typo in my haste to share the 77,070 words that I typed in 18 hours. I was kind of on a mission, as you can see and hear by the document and the text that you may have seen on the .com or Facebook. The web address is wrong, but there you go. I need a proofreader. I need so much. I need time. I need you to help. I need more love and support. We need more benefactors, if there are any out there that want to invest and outlay and use the systems of which are out there legally. I did see a cartoon joke the other day. What are you going to do when you leave school, son? I fancy a life of crime, Dad. And the dad says, oh, okay, what sector of the government are you going into? And I just went, tut, tut, so that's it. Business, legal, it's not good. We've had enough. We're going to stay in the law and in the private, and we need to build it up. So I just thought we'd utilise the time. It's summer, good weather. Hopefully you've got gardens going, you've got seeds going. If you've got no knowledge of any holistic or alternative, then we'd like to come and say hello, and we'd like to give it you, to give other people, other men, other brothers and sisters, family, turn the people into the living, the Walking Dead and zombies around, the zombies and Walking Dead for many reasons, not just smoking and alcohol and stress. There's probably another 100 we can add to that and work through. So we have the ability through testimonials, videos, hangouts, and yourselves to give the evidence and the substance over the form. We're not looking to make millions out of this. We'd look up and give you the technology to do that yourself and protect your assets, put stuff into trusts, whichever type you'd like to consider. That's your choice. I'm not here to tell you what. I'm just here to tell you what's there and what you can choose from to make your own informed decision, like they should have done at school, like they should have done at college, like they should have done at university, like you should have got at 21. And then here we are. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Let's read your comments and then I'm going to go and cook. Kevin, talking of damn, you make me moist, David. I knew it. He's there, first one. Look at him go. At least you're consistent, Kev, and we love you lots. I can't criticise with all them hearts and fists. Albert, Alan, Jesse, who is a.k.a. Clint, Nonna, aye. Odera, that's the one, Michael Odera. There we go. Thank you, brother. Rob, ESA, fair play fella. Mickey Finn. Rob S, fair play fella. Yeah, what's Rob doing? What's going on? I'll talk to him. I'll have a chat with him. Nobody wants to chat with me. You've seen I had a 3-hour chat with Santos and his fiance, and they went quite detailed and personal on that. And at times when I go about and when others come, I will slow down, be articulate. Check last night's chat. It's a new Dave. Yeah, I'll chat to them, but it seems that everybody's got their own ways and their own technologies and their own remedies, and doesn't want to listen to anybody else. From all the ones that I've met, that I've been to, and talking in the seminar in York and everything. It just sometimes makes me think, what? Javid is allegedly forming the treason. Sajid Javid, Nonna, is number 9 in the list, I do believe, for the race for the PM's job. And yes, bang on, reforming the treason laws. Well, yes. Aye, aye, easy, Mike. Nonna, I'll give you a couple of archers. Blessings. God bless Andrew. John, what are you sharing? Shareholders, I'll get the link. Don't go away. What's that for? Thank you, John. Ahoy. Much love, brother. Thank you. Kevin with the hit list. David Jeremita and his 7-seater. Hey, trumps over fiction eater, doesn't it, my man? All right, we'll let that ride. Aye. Helping the fam to open their eyes a blessing. Yeah, I got an email from somewhere in Sheffield, I can remember, near Sheffield, was it? Something saying that they've gone off grid, so I'm going to travel to see them. I'll give them a nudge. I've got an archive. I've probably got 500 emails of which I can word search through and pull up the relevant ones there. And I will be getting back in touch with you. If you have in a previous hangout contacted and said in the chat anything, now is the time to email me again, give me that information again. You can appreciate I get thousands of contacts across various platforms. You do get lost. I do attend to the urgent ones, and by the time I get to look at my list, another 10 new jobs have formed and come in, videos to be made, publications to be written. So you have to get back in touch. It's not that I'm arrogant or I choose and select, it's just too much. So please email me again and let me know if you have emailed before. I'm sorry, I probably got back to you. I do 95%. So, like I say, thank you. Andy, yes, thank you. Your work, our work is awesome. Shadow, easy now, brother. Where was you on Friday? We was expecting you. It's not a criticism, my brother, but I thought, what did we do about 3.5 hours, Shadow? I was thinking he's going to pop in a minute and say I'm here, but nice to see you now, brother. Better late than never. Greg Hallett's take on the fake royals is colourful. Thank you, Nana. Right then, so if you haven't seen last night's video, you can look at the text on Facebook that I posted and shared, and you can look at the text on the .com, or you can enjoy the old school beats and me and the scribes going through mostly the book of Daniel, going back hundreds of years BC, and then the timeline. We've started it, and it's open as an open source document. This, so take it, download it, copy it, share it, give it others, add to it, refine it. Don't worry about the grammar. It's a rough, raw draft copy. I've tried my best. Okay, we're not to be judged on the punctuation. It's about the core content. Let's just get it out there, revise it. When you've done it and you've done your bit, send it back to me, and I will then have a look. And yes, we will look to put in any edits and additions. Much like the status, standing and capacity, that's still got to be done again. We're on version 2. There will be a version 3. Because I didn't include in there, I'm here by special appearance and in a non-representative capacity. And if you are going to go in a special appearance and you get sidetracked, they drag you from the issue at hand and you go into other areas of chat, then you have gone from special appearance into general appearance. And it's just, see what I mean? That's why we don't recognise and tell you to stay away from these places, because it's so much of a den of iniquity and doom and gloom, and it's very unlikely. As I said to the bloke when we went to Oxford Magistrates for the charges there from the traffic officer, I says, very unlikely. Doesn't matter if we take thousands of pounds for the book and we put on hundreds of pounds for suits and we've got all these things, and a corrupt Masonic system is a corrupt Masonic system, and this club sticks together. And our family stick together. So, yes, I thank you for that. There's a lot of fakeness around. I want to come to a cafe every day, bring my energy, vitality. Anybody else that wants to come on this, that wants to join, is obviously welcome. Bring guests, bring family. We can show you about Reiki. If you've never had any Reiki, I'd like to assure you now, I'm able to take away headaches. I'm able to take away swelling pains. I'm able to make you feel a little bit dizzy and realign. No damage can come to you from this. It's non-invasive, so don't even touch you. It's just an energy thing. Healing in all senses. Mindfulness is the word you need to take from this. Research mindfulness. Those of you that have got a bit of time and don't know about NLP, mental health, and you're suffering from it, or you've got a partner that suffers from it, and you'd like to help them, or make your relationship, your love for them stronger, then you would look at these areas. Mindfulness is key. Mindfulness in many ways. I have a monkey mind, and my mind is now learning to be trained, so to speak, reprogramming, formatting, and going again. So yeah, that's key. That we had a chat. Greg's got some stuff, the Dharma Triangle. I'm sure that's on the .com. I might even do a hangout about this with others. I've been speaking to Josh recently, and I said I'd have a hangout with him, and I think he's got some good news. I won't announce it for him, but he's been treating somebody with what he knows and the diet, and they've got good news. So I'm happy to say last week we saw something good after a year, 18 months for me, several years for these poor individuals concerned, men concerned, with the doctor. I ended up working for a prince. I saw a UFO on Friday of massive accounts that, for want of better description, it was like 10,000 stars in a tube shape floating across the sky. Crazy things are happening. So just now is the time. DMSO, brother, tell me what you think. I could almost guess what that is, but all right. If it is council tax, stay away completely. Licenses. One love. I am fingers. Nice one. Blessings to all, and much love. I'd like to get off now, if that's okay. When you next see me, I don't know, sometime soon. Much love to you. Communities and resources is where our key and our strength lies. Cafes, no matter how small, that would be a good start. We can put information in there. You can have a drop-in centre, and after you've been looked at and had a chat with and directed, then others can come and others can leave. Or if you've got quite a big community centre where you have cafes, they don't seem to have a problem with I'll not say the word, coffee mornings for cancer. Come and eat some white refined sugar that will cause cancer. It's got sucralose, fructose, aspartame, phenylalanine, E numbers, fat, butter, congealed stuff, sugary jams, but it's for cancer. So we'll have coffee mornings and we'll do this and get fat and overfeed while the rest of the world starves. And it's like, hang on a minute, you just want to help someone with cancer, then give them the bloody remedy. Pretending there's no remedy for cancers. The Cancer Act comes to serve that. They were mentioning the Sodomy Act this morning on the radio. I don't know why, but it was on about in the times I've gone past and what it was like to be homosexual. And just it doesn't matter about all of that. What I want to go on is that, because I've gone biblical again late, and I've gone in the immersion of sodomy, sodomization, Sodom and Gomorrah. It's all wrong again. Even that in itself is wrong. If you actually go back and look and read and listen and digest and think afterwards, and then think of what the current name for homosexuality is, and how the sodomization, sodomy, and so forth, the Buggery Act. There's a Buggery Act, I tell thee. Bugger me. There's a Buggery Act. This language, this word, all of it is wrong. They've properly just wrapped us up in cheese wire, and they are tightening that. Yeah, and we can't resist that cheese wire. It's going to chop through us. And yeah, so I'm sorry to go random again, but this morning on the way down the A38, buggery and sodomy from Radio 4. And yeah, wow, just got my mind racing. And I'm just like, well, if you really looked at it, ladies, you'd find out that all this is not quite right as it seems, and it isn't all like that, and what you think isn't. So there you go, just quite a little twist on the end of this cast for Community Calves. Community Calves. Yes, Andy, it does indeed. It's absolutely, sickening, to be fair. And the ones that don't listen and go down the route they go down with the pharmaceuticals, then we shouldn't blame them. It's their choice, it's their body, like with choices in your remedies for law and so forth. It doesn't matter how many videos that are out there with like Rick Simpson's cancer oil, how many beautiful brothers and energies like Josh comes along and say it's just baking soda you need, bicarb, alkalinity, not baking, bicarb of soda, and that is because it increases the body's alkalinity, and the blood, plasma, water, etc., or the internal 12 systems are alkalined up, and it kicks out the fungal infection of cancer, if that is to be recalled correctly. Funguses, anti-candida, expulsion of candida via your diet. Amazing, yeah, the things that you can actually get up to and find out for yourself. Thank you, the Department for Health there. We should be thanking for this. It's Scribes and YouTube. We have a department, okay, for this shit. They can't manage to do it. Department of Health and Safety. That's why tower blocks are burning down. They can't quite manage to do it. Department for Homeland Security, National Security, but yet a drone takes down an airport at Christmas. If it was a drone and not a UFO or some other thing that they covered up saying it was a drone, so clearly incompetent. And yeah, Boris is on the bounce. Sajid Javid's number 9, Boris is number 1. Who are the others? Make it your job to see. It's the fight for the business. Not good. Right, I'm going. I've got to cook. So please, community calves anywhere, cities, villages, centres, no pubs. We'd rather stay away from the alcoholic environments and so forth. Only bad things happen when man gets intoxicated. So yeah, we'll go to the teetotal places. And if you can help, you want to, or you've been thinking about it and you didn't know, then yes, this is another call out just to say, that's what we're thinking of. That's what makes sense. That's logical. Bless you. Much love. Love in the hearts to the 11 scribes. 3 thumbs up. Ciao for now. Much love. Stay private. Stay self-governing. Stay sovereign. Stay loving. Stay in a high vibration.